Hello, I'm Łukasz, and today we are looking into Reddit AI Analyzer that will save us 2 hours every day. If you are scrolling Reddit like me, you probably spend hours checking all news about AI and so on. So I created this tool with a frontend in Gradio that you can look into. You can input your favorite Reddits, put a filter number of comments and replies that you want to see. You can use free Google models or any other model that you want to add, like GPT-4, 5, and so on. And you can customize your user input, your system prompt, and then you can also send it to Telegram if you want. I pack it all in a Docker, so you can also schedule it. So you can enable scheduling of automation of this news that will be sent straight on your phone, and then you can use it to create your own AI podcasts or whatever things you want, flashcard, quizzes, mind maps, reports, video overviews, and so on. So we'll start by looking into the architecture. This is part second of the project that we are doing. If you didn't watch it, you can watch first part somewhere here. So before we have Reddit fetcher and AI analyzer that we use Pydantic AI, but only to have a wrapper about different APIs and also to track the results. That will be for the next video when we optimize the prompt. And now I added Telegram sender. So Telegram sender, if we look into the code, is sending us messages and files and error notifications straight to our phone, to the bot that we could create. How we could create it? Well, if you look on the last one, you should already have the APIs like this. But now you need to create your own Telegram bot and chat ID. Here you have instruction how to do it, and you will get the information that you need to input here to work. The logfire is example that is optional because it's to track experiments on outputs and so on. I use it to measure costs just for fun. So now if we look into architecture again, what happens when we click analyze, we create new files that will be saved in output. Here is the scheduler file. So for example, this is scheduler that I created before. So it saves everything that you need. So your system user prompt, which model you want to use, which Reddits, and how many posts from these top Reddits you want to see. And then this will be triggered. So now, as it's all in Docker, maybe I will start building it with this instruction that is also in README. So while this is building, it's built already because I cached it. We can see it here in logs. This is Docker plugin, if anybody using VS Code is interested. So as we see, this is loaded and it will check every 60 seconds for scheduler to trigger the action that we created automatically in the GUI, and then it's saved into the file. So if we look quickly through Docker, I use Slim Image, so it should be super cheap to run. I spent quite time to figure out permissions because, fun part, if you look at NotebookLM, here you see that some files I updated and they were constantly spamming. So that's the permission issue on Linux because it was created as root through my container. But yeah, now it's solved. What we sent here more, the default address, expose, we use app user, which is 1000. We install everything here. And there is also all its continuation from, again, first video. So if you don't know, check it out. We have Project Tom, PyProject Tom, and UVlog. We use them to basically get our packages and dependencies. So when I create Docker, then I only need to do these two things and install UV, and all dependencies are there. You can run it also locally if you want, and so on. But yeah, today we create it with Docker, and then we run it with Docker with volumes. So everything goes into the file. Well, let's not go into too much details like last time. So yeah, all the code is here. I make it a bit separated. It's not production. let's say ready yet, but it's good enough for the project. So you can check all functions, you can check scheduler. I use simple scheduler because before I tried something really difficult, like some special packages, but it's not really worth it, as we just need to trigger it once a day. It could run in the background of our PC, so when we turn it on, it will send it to our phone whenever we want, and so on. We have some utils to check tokens, save the file, and actually let's start with triggering some action. So I will first do manual analysis. So this is example that I created. It's not really optimized yet for exactly what I want, but it's cool to see. So now when I run it, we can see what's happening inside. So I'm fetching posts during the day. So today from all these Reddits, I specified number of posts. So for example, I have 10 from local llama, 5 from artificial. If you work in AI, you should really watch this Reddit because there is some juicy information about AI up there. I was literally reading it every day. And then, yeah, that it will be sent to Telegram. Here we can see that we start getting the posts. We can open them also with the link. And it should be quick, visible when we finish in the outputs. So we can see what's happening today. OS alternative, Amazon. Oh, cutting jobs again, even after breakthrough. Huh, interesting. Now we run the Gemini 2.5 Pro. You can use it for free. I explained it in the first video how you can create your own key, and then you can use it. It's a bit slow because it depends on usage, but it's for free, so you can use it to trigger something like this, as you really don't care about latency. You just care to have it around the time you go, I don't know, for example, for a car, and you want to create podcast for your car from custom news and so on. So yeah, while it's running, you can already set up scheduler. So currently it's 1843. I set it up so it will detect time zone automatically, but you can also change it here. So let's set up the schedule 1844. Enable. So now we see that scheduler is active. We scheduled next run. So it was 43:15 before I do it. I can refresh it. There is also super quick instruction. You can disable it and so on. Now manual analysis. So as we can see, it finished. So it got sent to my phone, which I can't show you because I'm using it to record this video now. But I will add now view of how it looks like. You can also specify the messages and so on. So as we can see, some error, but I think it will still trigger. I wish, because I checked everything, so it will be pretty disappointed. It is saved. Oh yeah, so it triggered now. So it refreshed. So it's creating basically the same thing again. We can look into our manual analysis. So we see the file here. We can copy paste it and see everything that was analyzed. We can download the results. So there are two files, as I mentioned before. So here we have the analysis with AI. So it do some processing, put some posts that it thought is important and so on. But maybe sometimes you are just interested into the post and comments because you can basically do the brute force and then you don't need any AI. So you feed all this information, for example, to NotebookLM. So now let's see how it works. I tested it and it really depends what you want to do. So I have some other posts that I will unlink for now, and we can just use maybe our own data. Because for NotebookLM, it's better to, I think, have a more data and let it decide what it wants to put. But for example, if you want to check the news on your phone quickly, then you can optimize it with AI. And also I don't put here any hyperparameters for AI, which are quite important, like max number of tokens and so on. So this is really just a template now so you can play with it, and I will optimize it later in the next part of this video. So now we have this document, we can, for example, ask something, because this is basically RAG that you can use for your own use case with all documents super quickly and then chat with them. We'll trigger audio review in the meantime. We can trigger video review. We can do mind map because it's nice. So let's see. The community hardware discussion revolved primarily around the disappointing performance of high-profile NVIDIA device and the search for competitive high VRAM alternatives. So yeah, DGS Spark news. We have sources here that we can look into our sources for when it's cited for. So it's pretty useful. We can go through it. Some shout out to VLM, which is super nice engine. Actually, didn't read about it much. Oh, so it's thank you for community. Pretty much they deserve it if anybody triggers. So for example, here we can see mind map of our news. So we can see, for example, AI economical impact, limitations, constant paranoid parent, and so on. So you can go through the mind map of all your resources and check it out. This is all for free that you can check with just Google Gmail account. So yeah, that's more or less it. Here is the also file that I opened in the text editor. And yeah, as we can see, the schedule got also automatically completed. Everything got here and got sent on the Telegram. So in the next part of the video, we'll look into new things. So I thought that will be cool that we can also scrape news from the emails, because there are a lot of this AI notification kind of news. So we can have an email that gets all this news and then type the emails that we get the news from to also put it as an additional source of data to create our personal news feeds. And then I also played to actually wrap all of this, so the NotebookLM to send you automatically files straight on your phone using Telegram, but the API is still in beta. And I created Notebook and everything using it, but I couldn't send it to myself. I think it's still not fully developed, and I needed to send like requests to sales team to get access to it. So I sent it, but I don't know when I will get answer or if it's possible to use it. But you can use it pretty much here for free. You can input all your news and then you can chat with them, ask them questions and so on. As we can see, it's still generating the podcast and so on, but I will put it on a GitHub repo so you can check it out. And also this code will be on GitHub repo. You have the README, how to install UV, everything, create API keys again, the filters, because actually I don't know if I explain it, but here we can choose all kind of filters to check the news. We can check the number of comments and so on. There are maximum values regarding the API and bots. We could make a workaround if we make multiple calls with different filters or so on. But for now, that would be it. So I will pack all of this so you guys can easily deploy it, access it, and have your own personal news, play with it, learn about wrappers and so on. So if you like it, I would appreciate some comment or ideas what we could add next. And see you guys next time.